So may I start?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. I, Prashasti Rajpal, welcome you on behalf of Vidhi Portal.com. In this interview of Advocate Partha Ghosh, Vidhi Portal.com aims to deliver important judgment and updates on legal and political issues. As we all know, Bar Association is a professional body that acts as a significant bridge between lawyers and judges. It takes due care of lawyers with disputes and other issues. Bar Association lays down some significant guidelines related to ethics and professional responsibility and makes sure of its effective implementation. Thank you for being hello. Thank you for being so responsive, sir.
Hello.
Further, we, hello, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Further, we have Advocate Partha Ghosh on board, who is contesting for the post of Secretary of Calcutta High Court Bar Association election 2021. So we are honored to have you here with us. I would like to tell all the participants that they are free to ask questions after the interview. With no further delay, I would like to seek your permission to commence the interview. Shall I proceed, sir?
Yes. Yes. You may proceed.
Thank you, sir. So I would like to ask you, why did you choose to contest for these elections, and what are the issues you want to raise?
Actually, I first of all, thanks to this the organizing this program, because first time I am appearing like this program. So first of all, I may introduce myself. Myself is Partha Ghosh. I am practicing since 2003 in Calcutta High Court, and myself also a special counsel in central government, standing counsel in railway, as well as special counsel in Armed Forces Tribunal. So before I proceed with the interview, may I first introduce the panel. We have introduced our panel of advocates, those who are contesting on behalf of one organization. And may I first introduce the persons, those who are contesting along with us. So may I first introduce?
Sure, sir.
Yes, Mr. Pramit Kumar Roy, who is contesting as president in this Bar Association's elections. Mr. Kollal Mondol, who is also contesting as a vice president. Myself, Partha Ghosh, as secretary. Mr. Amarjit De, who is contesting as treasurer. Mrs. Sayoni Rai Chaudhuri, who is also contesting as assistant secretary, as well as Mr. Torun Jyoti Tiwari, who is also contesting as assistant secretary. There are 9 committee members in our panel, namely Amrita Pandey, Kalidas Saha, Mary Dotto, Prithu Dudhoria, Rini Bhattacharya, Sarada Saha, Shruti Tiwari, Sujit Mitro, and Sukanto Ghosh. So, if I be allowed to say something about the previous committee's work which has been done, actually in previous committee, there are 15 posts in the Bar Association. Out of 15, we own 8 persons in the last elections. So may I first introduce and may I first highlight the work which has been done by the last committee, because last committee is our committee, and I would like to highlight that committee's work which has been done by the last committee. The last committee, during the lockdown period, without any interruption, they extended the help to all the persons, including the staffs, and staffs of the Bar Associations has already got their salary and they have been getting till date without any embargo, without any struggle by them. So that was the first achievement the last committee has achieved. Thereafter, the few members we have introduced one portal, and we have already asked the persons, those who are facing the financial crisis. So junior members and few senior members, those who are facing the crisis, the last Bar Association extended the help, and almost 20 lakhs, about 20 lakhs has already been spent and it has been given to the poor advocates and the needy advocates, those who were registered their names. Apart from this, the advocates of our associations, including their family and the clerk and staffs, already got the COVID vaccines, and a lot of people already achieved the second vaccines as well, second dose vaccine. Bar Association has already introduced the website, which was not previously introduced. Bar Association also opened the online mode for the learned advocates for their payment. And Bar Association also, last committee also approved the group medical insurance policy for the members. A lot of things it will take whole days to describe achievements. Now you can proceed according to your.
Okay, sir. Hello,
Hello.
sir. Thank you, sir. Hello. Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay.
Am I audible, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Yes. Tell me.
Yes, sir. My first question to you is that what are the issues that you are willing to work on?
Actually, we have the High Court, Calcutta High Court. In Calcutta High Court, there is a strength of 72 judges.
Yes,
Out
sir.
of 72 judges, we are already getting almost 30 to 35. So, also there are two circuit benches. One is Vaigudi, another is Andama. So the 3 judges, 3 and 3, 6 judges are already used to book for the high circuit benches. So we are getting 25 to 26 and up to 30 judges. So there are a lot of matters pending in Calcutta High Court. So there will be the first issue of our committee to raise the voice for appointment of the judges, because due to this non-appointment of appointing the judges, there are a lot of problems. People are suffering, advocates are suffering, matters are not finishing in time. So we first of all, we will raise our voice to appointing the judges, so that the strength which has been already there, that has to be filled up.
Okay, sir. And what other issues?
Other issues, there will be the cordial relations between the bar and bench. Actually, our association is to see the welfare of the advocates. So welfare of the advocate, if we can achieve the quick delivery of judgment, we can achieve the matter to be heard immediately. If the matter is to be listed immediately and matter will be heard and disposed of, this is our main welfare for the advocates. We, the advocates, we need always that the matter which we files in court, that has to be finished up with a time-bound process, and the delivery of judgment should be done immediately. Because you know there is a common courts that delay defeats justice. So we already made up our mind, and we will focus on the issue that delay should not be done to getting the justice.
Okay, sir. So my another question is, what are the factors that separate you from the current secretary, from the present secretary?
No, the present secretary, actually, we are in COVID situation. There is no secretary at all, elected secretary. That body's term has already been over. Now the Calcutta High Court has already appointed 2 persons, 2 special officers to function during this period. So the secretary's term in 31st July has already been expired. Thereafter, no committee is there.
Okay, sir. Prem sir would like to ask you a few questions. So over to Prem sir.
Okay. If it's possible, you can switch off. Okay, it's a very Calcutta High Court. I've seen a very unique association. Firstly, because firstly there are many political parties, also association panels are there, because these are really missing in other states. It's the first time when we were looking for this association. So we saw there was a poster of even Trinamool Congress also has. So is your association is there's a association with some political party?
Actually, Bar Association is non-political organization, basically. But we, the people of those who are contesting, we always hails from different political parties. There are also some members, those who are contesting independently. But Bar Association has no cut. But the few people like us, those who are associated with the political parties, that's why we call this is a Trinamool's panel, this is a BJP's panel, this is a Congress panel. But fact remains there is no such color in Bar Association. This is the fact in reality.
Okay, because one of the contesting who is also for the post of secretary is the Bishwarab Basu Malik, Advocate Bishwar Basu Malik. So he's from, because their posters shows the picture of Congress, Trinamool Congress. So that's where my curiosity came from. And but your panel has a diverse, like it's not a panel of a single party, right?
No, actually, our panel is supported by the Bhajpa. It's true. But still, we can say here, Bar Associations always chooses the candidates from their own persons, from their own fraternity, and from their own home. Actually, Bar Associations is like a home, and Bar Associations never sees any political party. And Bar Associations always cast their vote, the members always cast their vote purely on the basis of personal relations and the ability the person who is contesting, according to his ability and according to his acceptance in the Bar Associations, how he has achieved in his personal career, personal professions, and how he become the good persons, and what is his previous history, and whether the persons who will be choosing and who will own, whether he can contest against the sometime in judges, who can sometime go beyond the request of the judges, and those who can maintain the relations between the bench and bar.
Okay. And one of the things, sir, we liked about your bar association is you were vocal about the appointment of the judges in the court. We have done interviews other states, but they were not vocal on these issues. So this issue which you are raising is a very good issue that you will be raising before this bar. So see, if this issue we see appointments, most of the time the collegiums, as we know in the central level, collegium has already given the names to the central government. The central government does what? They are not passing, they are not confirming their names, mostly because of the IB or something, and which is natural, which happens naturally because see, being a lawyer who is practicing in the private side will always have links with some criminal litigants. So and we are seeing very less of person with a private practice to go in before the bar. So don't you think that this issue which the bar would be raising will be addressed properly in central level because of non-clearance?
Actually, we can raise the issue before the Chief Justice of concerned High Court, that is Calcutta High Court. We can make our representation before the Calcutta High Court. We can also make our representation to the central government. We can also make our representation to the Chief Justice of India. So we can do that so that the appointment can be done immediately. And you know, there were some judgment of the Supreme Court. There is a MOP, Memorandum of Procedure. It was decided by and between the Supreme Court as well as the central government. So it's we can also urge the point that since the MOP is a joint, it's like a joint bipartite agreement. So both party means here the Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court as well as central government should follow the MOP. Should follow the MOP. Memorandum of Procedure is there, and appointment should be done immediately. Why the appointment will be delayed? Either by the apex court or by the central government, because due to the non-appointing of the judges, The litigants are suffering, including the lawyers are suffering.
Okay, sir. Another topic we need to discuss is sometimes we have seen bar associations going for strike on some issues which that doesn't get resolved. So what is your opinion on strike? Should it be in, and if it is used by the bar, in which form it should be done? Strikes are actually something that hampers both litigants and the lawyers.
Actually, strike is something hampered the both. It's correct, but if the strike is the voluntary act, if the bar association call the strike, or if the bar association says that we will not do the judicial work, so it's about the request. It's only request to the member of the bar. So if the members of the bar accept the request, if the member of the bar voluntarily do not join or adhere the request made by the bar association, so neither it is offense nor it's any kind of anything. So if sometime happens and if sometime occurs that a strike is necessary, so that can be done in many cases, and many times it has happened.
Okay, I think that's a because there needs to be a relationship as well, because if members are asking for it and there are some issues, because strikes, the association only uses the strikes when it's utmost necessary. I can also understand.
Yes, certainly.
And now moving on to, we have seen there is a phase of a digitalization of the court in the COVID, and from it what it brings that lawyers who had to physically move from their home to court to chamber, now in the virtual court they were able to do. Of course, there was lacuna of network connectivity. We are not able to, arguments was an issue. We are not able to give a judgment. There was a that whole aroma of argument was missing in that way. Now by slowly we are moving to a physical as well. But one of the thing which we are not, I might be saying that we are not realizing is this virtual court was one of the most beneficiary for the disabled lawyers who needed this virtual court most, because they could not afford carrying files, carrying their gowns, going to the courts, and also the women pregnant lawyers as well. So don't we think this virtual court should have been more promoted by the association, because we have, most of the association have a back foot when it comes to going completely physical. They all
actually,
physical
I understand your point. Actually, there is a difficulty and benefits. Both are here, because sometime, like civil matters, it is not only about the High Court. There are a lot of trial courts. So in a trial court, it will not be possible to do the trial in virtual mode. So always it has to be done through physical mode. So that's why court has introduced that hybrid process. Those who are interested to come, let they come. They are free to join to do the matter physically. And those who are not in a position to come, they can do from their home or from their office. What is the typical is? That's why virtual mode is a beneficial, as well as it is also difficult, because sometimes connectivity problems still there. So it is not so easy to make the judges understand each and everything. Suppose at the time of hearing, I would like to rely on document, or would like to place one judgment, or would like to show the judge, show the book. So difficulty is there, but still it can be continued in both ways. Both ways it can be continued.
So this is a good thing that your bar association, your candidates are supporting a hybrid. I think that should be always promoted. Actually, certainly, most of the high courts are not very disabled lawyer friendly, because we have not seen good infrastructure in this one. And that third I want to know is, since recently there is one of the issues I think we are right now we are acknowledging is a kind of a favorable listing where some cases get over jump the other in a central, but we are not talking about the Calcutta, but as taking an example from the Supreme Court or from the Aryan Khan case, that many bail pendings were there, but sometimes when a celebrity or a high profile case comes, it jumps the process and it gets listed automatically. So what if, and sometimes lawyers have said, but the Bar Association are keeping silence on such kind of listing. So what your opinion would be then if some kind of a jump is there in cases of bail and anticipatory bail?
No, let this situation may come at my tenure. I will see on it. I will see on it.
But I think if you would be speaking, or if you would be taking this thing, it would be very good, because all lawyers should have a very equal stand. If my case is number 5, it should be listed as per number 5. It should not, nobody should jump it just because some very high profile case should have come.
One thing I must say, where there is a discretion, there will be discrimination.
Correct. Discretion is
when there is
there. Every law has some discretion.
Always there. So discretion, if there is a discretion, so discrimination is always inbuilt. Nothing can be done.
But listing has no discretion.
No, you follow the procedure, not the only listing. We mention the matter before the court. See, this is a urgent case. My lord, kindly do this matter by time frame or. So if court allows, what the department will do? If court allows to, so all the matters, those like out of turn, you mean to say the out of turn, how the matter can be done in out of turn. So in all matters, when out of turn is doing at the discretion, at the order of the court, always it's done at the order of the court.
Okay.
And one thing I can say, our High Court is very fantastic High Court, and still with a few little judges, not the full strength judges, still we are getting justice from the High Court. And good number of cases are every day disposed of. Now all the judges are doing a very hard from morning to evening and to night. And some judges are still, they do their job at High Court chamber, still at 8, 9, 10. I know them.
So what would be the average time of a simple bail petition, regular bail petition? Average time from filing to
there is no time limit. There is no time limit, because few judges it takes to 7 days to dispose of, and few judges takes long time. It just depends how far the judge will be fast. There is no time limit.
Any infrastructure issue you would be addressing, like of parking issue or of a library issue or of or chamber issue would be addressing, sir? Any of in these?
No, actually parking issue. Our High Court building is already under construction at Rajarhat. So our High Court may be shifted from here to Rajarhat. Okay. So I have heard that the building is under construction.
Enough chambers are there? Enough chambers?
There will chamber. No, there will not be chambers. There will not be chambers. It is a building of the High Court. So High Court judges chamber will be there, but lawyers chamber, they can from their own they can do that. But in High Court premises, I think there will not be chamber of the lawyers like Supreme Court. So one thing I can say that our legislative assembly is adjacent to High Court. So there are a lot of space. It's a big place. So High Court is the place where a lot of people has to come, a lot of litigants. And our High Court is adjacent to the Ganges, adjacent to the nearest to the Howrah station, nearest to the Sialda station. And it is a very convenient place to come. But if it is shifted to the Rajarhat, it will be very inconvenience for all. So I will request, if necessary, and if I can get such a place for request, I will request that if the Legislative Assembly can be shifted here to somewhere else, and if that place be given to High Court for utilization. Because in a Legislative Assembly, all the MLAs and all the persons are come through car. And there is no public connectivity or public place, or no public is required to be enter into the Legislative Assembly, like High Court. And there is no necessity of the publics to visit the Legislative Assembly. So in that case, that place if given to High Court, and if that place is shifted to somewhere else, it will be better for everybody. I may place this request if I get chance to do that.
Sure, sir, you will get a chance. We all hope for the best, sir.
Thank
And
you.
this is we actually started this because most of them we when we contact this contestant, many don't are open to questions. So we like that you will be, if you would selected a secretary, is very open to the questions. They are reachable, they are responsive. That's all we expect from a secretary, to be there when you need them, to answer your question, to make responsible. That's what all you are, lawyers of a lawyer. Okay, so that's
So
a very
actually we are hailing from the village area, so always I'm reachable.
I think this is the thing that should be remarkable. I repeat again, Partha Ghosh actually gave us time from his native place, and he was there. His response was within minutes. He's from native, he's connecting through an internet. So that's a very good quality this candidate have. We appreciate. And we'll like to have I hope that your campaign goes well. And now Prashasti will go ahead with her questions.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. So shall I proceed?
Yes.
So, do you think there is a lack of representation of women at bench and in elected body? Why do you think that is? And what are you doing? Well, what will you do for that?
No, actually, reservations of the lawyers are already, reservations of the women are already there in the Constitution of India. So that has to be followed, because reservations cannot be stretched. So as per the constitutional mandate, reservation is followed.
So, but the representation is quite less than in elected bodies and in bench.
Representation is not quite less if the people don't, those who are lady advocate, if they are not so much interested. What can be done? I can request them to come and to represent and contest the election. So if they do not desire or not interested, but still we have a lot of lady advocates, those who are contesting here, and few have already in earlier elections has already won from our side. So there are a lot of ladies, but in equally, if you compare with the 50-50, then you will get the the men's are basically higher than lady advocates. They are more interested.
Yeah. Okay, sir. If I may ask, sir, how are you managing your expense for campaigning? Is it through social media only, or is it something else? Hello, sir.
Yes, you are audible.
Madam, you have the connectivity problem.
Yes, sir.
You have connectivity problem. Tell me.
Okay, so I'll just repeat my question again. If I may ask, how are you managing your expense for campaigning?
So there is no expense for campaign. No? Only few matches and messages and phone calls.
So
Nothing
only
more.
through social media.
Social media, nothing. I have posted my my panel, group panel, as well as my panel in Facebook. I have in WhatsApp, you will find my DP picture is there.
Yes, sir.
There is no expense.
Okay,
No
sir.
expense at all.
Okay, sir. So my last question is, what is your message for your target voters?
I have a lot of message to them, but only one thing I can say, that lawyer should get the justice from the justices. Lawyer should get the justice from the justices.
Yes, sir.
Am I clear?
Yes, sir. So that is your message. Okay, sir.
Yes.
Thank you for your time, sir. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
so
Thank you very
responsive
much.
to us. Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.